What's the stupidest thing someone has said to you with confidence? If you ever fall out of a plane without a parachute, you should grab onto the ground when you hit it so that you don't bounce, because that is the bounce that kills you, not the first impact. He swore that it was true and that a skydiving instructor had told him. I believe the skydiving instructor told him that, but the skydiving instructor probably thought he was smart enough to get the joke. Was talking with a few friends, and one of them got on the topic of going to a gynecologist appointment and said, well, while he's down there, he might as well do a prostate exam. Chaos ensued when she refused to believe that women didn't have a prostate. In my first semester nursing class at a community college, a middle-aged guy behind me confidently corrected the 3 female instructors who were demonstrating how to insert a catheter. If you insert the catheter tube into the vagina instead of the urethra, you're supposed to leave it in place until you can correctly insert a new sterile cath into the urethra. It kinda acts like a bookmark, so you don't make the same mistake twice. Anyways, this guy confidently informs the, again, female instructors that there's only 2 holes down there, not 3. One for poop, one for sex/pee/menstruation. And how could any idiot possibly mistake the anus for the urethra? Question mark? Cold wrap his brain around the fact that there are 3 holes, because if each hole had its own purpose, there would need to be 4. Sex, pee, menstruation, poop. Needless to say, he did not move on to the next semester. Being female doesn't always mean you know this. For example, my mother and I had an argument about this very thing. She insisted there was 2. I said there is 3. I'm male. I'm seriously baffled at how she at the time went 38 years not knowing this. They laid their jacket right beside a stove. Don't worry, it's waterproof. Did they really confuse water and fire? Exclamation mark. Yeah. I just stared at them for a minute until what they said sunk in. Oh, I don't believe in electrons. Apostrophe. I've never seen one. Have you? No, I didn't think so. A visiting professor insisted that daylight saving time is needed at latitudes closer to the equator instead of farther from the equator. She then claimed that she lived in the USA for a while and she had experienced DST herself. Her reasoning was that New York observes DST and New York was near the equator. When I pointed out that it snows in New York and it's not close to the equator, she claimed that she had been there and it never snows in New York. We live in India, within the tropics, and we don't observe DST, but she claims we are far from the equator. She was easily the most arrogant piece of shit I have ever met. She was wrong about so many things, but aggressively yelled what she thought was right. Lol, as a New Yorker that experiences a shit ton of snow each year, that's hilarious. It literally snows from October to April/May here. Also, we do have DST. How can it be 9 AM here, Toronto, and 6 AM in Vancouver at the same time? A work colleague. Years ago, I tried to explain it but it didn't work. Edit. Wow. This resonates with a lot of people. I remember that she was a very sweet and kind-hearted lady and she really could not understand it. I think she lacks some basic knowledge, so the concept of time zones was too advanced for her. Also, thank you for the award, kind stranger. I work with long-haul truckers and I literally had to explain time zones to one of them. It blew my mind. Didn't he wonder why the time kept changing? The company I worked for 20 years ago had a new saleswoman fly out from Chicago to LA. She's got a noon meeting in one of the hotel conference rooms with her client. But when she shows up it isn't ready. She bitches at the hotel, who agrees to get it ready in a hurry, and there she sits, in an empty conference room, for an hour, before calling the client to ask if they were running late. No, they said, they'll be there in 45 minutes, just like they scheduled. She gets the sale. But when she arrives back she has nothing but venom about the trip. First the hotel screws up, then the client shows up late and pretends nothing's wrong. And to make things worse my plane departed 2 hours late, etc. That's when one of her coworkers asks about her watch. Did she remember to reset it once she landed in LA? What do you mean? Reset it? It's a Rolex. Doesn't it do that automatically? Apostrophe. The Greeks didn't have metal. Apostrophe. Even to this day their cars are made out of a sturdy balsa. My front desk gym rep. I gave them a 1-week free gym membership. March 27th to March 35 th. And it would have been March 34th anyhow. Exactly. So many levels of dumb. They even hand wrote a 1-week free membership card out with the same dates. I didn't see the card until the member came in the next day and showed it to me to check in for the day. They didn't even say anything. I wish there was a window in between us so I didn't have to look at you. Apostrophe. That is amazing. That she could never use a sperm donor to have a kid because she wasn't 100% sure that the baby/child would speak English. It's probably for the best that she won't use a sperm donor. It would be best for her to never parent at all, no matter the means of child acquisition. A distant cousin, who has long been a complete dumbass, once told me that whatever direction she is facing is north. It came up when I was on the phone giving someone directions and she was nearby. I said something like go north on X street, then take a left on Y, etc. She overheard me and said that I didn't make any sense because whatever direction you're facing is north. So north changes depending on which way you are facing. I said no, north is north. It's only the direction you're facing. If you happen to be facing north, and she started arguing with me over it. She definitely was not just ducking with me because she is a dumbass that has a long history of saying really stupid shit. Your cousin is a compass. When I was moving to Hawaii, I had a friend ask if they had cars/roads there. She believed they got around using tiny boats. Imagine saying you are from Egypt. Fuck houses. All my homies live in pyramids. 1/4 is greater than 1/2. Space was created by Disney to further the hoax of space/Earth being round. He was dead serious. And he quoted his own brain after much research as his source. I wish I was kidding. Wow, what an idiot. Everyone knows Disney created the hoax of space in order to sell more copies of Star Wars. I believe the ferrets have laid their eggs again in the attic. I hear them strolling around since a few days. I had a roommate in college who visited Spain and thought that it was hilarious that people there commented on his accent. For him, I don't have an accent. I'm an American. Tom. Yeah, one of the reasons that people think that we're all stupid. In a similar vein, a friend of mine in college had a boyfriend from the UK. You would not believe how many people asked him how he was able to speak English so well. It was horrifying. I was having a conversation with someone from the UK, and one of my friends complimented his accent. He said he liked our accents as well, and she just goes, we don't have an accent, haha. The look of utter confusion on this dude's face killed me. My SSGT while I was on active duty, fairly new to the base, said straight up, why are you always trying to learn all the time? Just stop it, it's stupid. He didn't like it that I asked questions about WTF I was doing and why I was doing it. How else was I supposed to know how to do my job? Good soldiers always follow orders, goofy. When I went into the nuclear navy, I got the equivalent to a PhD in nuclear engineering in 6 months. All the real nuclear engineers just fell down laughing. Talk about brainwashing. You're not Asian, you're Chinese. Shsation. You don't know that. She could be Korean. The effort to be safe is hilarious. You shouldn't wear a seatbelt because, in the event of a crash, you're better off being thrown out of the car than being trapped in it. As an EMT, it would certainly be less paperwork. When I was in grade 10 of high school in the US, so we were 15 over 16-year-olds, a guy in my class argued with me because he was insistent that the penis has a bone. Because, and I quote, why else would it be called a boner? Interestingly enough, while human penises do not have bones, the penises of almost all other primates do. That the way I'm pronouncing my own name is wrong. Canada is part of the United States. My Canadian friend told me once. Legit, I think some people confuse North America with United States of America. Not saying it isn't outrageous, but at least I get how it happens. You should try to incorporate cinnamon and apple cider vinegar into your diet, then you can get off the insulin and use more natural products to control your blood sugar. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Have you tried not being diabetic? I honestly have, and it landed me in the IQ lol. You can only get COVID-19 if you get bitten by someone who had it. COVID positive people also have to be invited into your home. That's why I haven't gotten it. Nobody wants to visit me. Probably not the stupidest, but they didn't have planes in WW1. This was said while we were playing Battlefield 1 from a high schooler who has seen It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown at least a couple of times. Also, to make this better, this happened on 3 separate occasions. The disparity in technology was incredible though. In the beginning, cavalry was still being used. I can't make you come because your legs are short and girls with short legs can't come easily. Apostrophe. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed watching this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below.